Hey Steve, it's Thursday, and guess what? We're roommates! Say hi! Oh, I'm sad now.
I will remember you. Will you remember?
Okay, enough of that. I guess I have to forgive you for wounding me deeply for not living here. Which is actually perfect because today's response is all about forgiveness. So, without further ado, let's make like a scuba enthusiast and dive deep. Question 1, how do I keep my eyes on my own spiritual journey? Great question. I honestly think this is one of the hardest parts about being a Christian. It's so easy to get locked into judgments and comparisons that I actually feel like it's really hard to keep my focus on my own journey. Last week we just heard that God is the judge, and honestly this is something I need to keep at the front of my mind. God is the judge, I'm not. There's actually a great saying about fasting that comes to mind as we prepare for Great Lent. Keep your eyes on your own plate. And unfortunately, I think I spend way too much time looking at other people's plates. And I think I spend so much time looking at what other people do because I want to make sure that I'm okay, comparatively speaking. At least I'm not that guy, but then again, that's the very thing that the parable of the publican and the Pharisee warned against. So here I am at the beginning of Lent, admitting that I don't know very well how to keep my eyes on my own plate. One thing that does help, however, is regular confession. Having to continually examine myself and see that I haven't measured up to the commandments of God, it keeps me humble. It keeps me recognizing the need for His grace. Confession keeps my own transgressions of divine commands at the front of my mind. It doesn't matter what other people have done. So I think I'm going to make a challenge to myself this Lent. In the past, I've confessed as part of my regular preparation for Pascha, but this year I want to use it as a time to kickstart a new habit of confession. And so I want to try to confess once in every month that we're in Lent. My hope is that this inward focus of confession and the guidance of my spiritual father will help me stay focused on what's on my own plate and not worrying so much about what my brother is up to. Question 2, do I find that times of preparation make it easier to forgive? Again, I wish that I could say yes. Unfortunately, forgiveness was something that I found particularly difficult during Lent last year. I felt really hurt by some people in my life, and honestly, it took me about a year to get over it and to forgive them. I held on to that pain and let the wound fester, and it's really tragic because that kept me from recognizing how important these people really are to me. And I think part of the issue, however, was that I didn't really take that time of preparation seriously. I was much more concerned about reaching the feast than I was about embracing the fast. I wanted everything to be okay, to go smoothly. I wanted everything to go my way perfectly. And when it didn't, I got upset. I was living in a sort of premature eschaton. I was trying to have resurrectional joy without true appreciation of crucifixion. Like I was somehow trying to get to Pascha Sunday by skipping Holy Friday and Saturday. This year, however, I really want to embrace the cross, the need to focus on my own broken and sinful humanity without worrying about the brokenness and sinfulness of others. Question 3, is there anyone in my life who I have struggled to forgive? Man, this whole response video is just making me feel like a terrible person because, yes, definitely. I have definitely held on to some very deep hurts. But the struggle to forgive on my end hasn't ended up so much in blatant anger or resentment as much as it's actually shown up as more of a paralysis. I almost feel paralyzed at the thought of reaching across certain relational chasms, knowing that to do so would be to open myself up to almost certain pain. I don't know that I'm brave enough to do that. You know how they say to forgive and forget? Well, I think the fact that I can't forget the hurt keeps me from walking in the fullness of forgiveness. I think I'm still afraid of some of that pain and that new pain might follow if I reach out, and so I stay shelled up. I wish that I could cross the divide between me and some of the people who have deeply hurt me, but sometimes that just seems too scary, and so I feel paralyzed. But I pray that the Lord will soften my heart, that He will open me up to be less afraid of pain and to take the risk of forgiveness, because I know that without it, I won't receive it. All right, Steve, that's all I got. I'll see you on Monday.